Okay, time for another garden video. Dated, geez, I'm not sure the exact date, but it's the last week of July. These are going to look a little wilty because I haven't watered yet. But this is the stuff that's growing in the pots now. And there's a lot of squash here, and these pots dry out quick. I try to keep them as wet as I can, but they still tend to dry out. So some of them definitely like these guys here. There's a wilted. There's some down here too. Mostly they're squash. The rest aren't looking too bad. And actually they look like they're well watered. I think it's the heat that's doing them in. We're getting a lot of heat. So those are all squash there. And they're pretty happy. The bean wall has started. Yep, it's even gotten up to the top here. These pole beans. And it's flowering. So it won't be long now we'll have pole beans. We already do have some of the regular beans, and cucumbers are getting big enough to pick. Yep, things are starting to come in. Yeah, baby, this is a good year. This is the main cucumber patch right here. There's some more in those pots that we went by. But I haven't seen anything on them yet. But there's probably a half a dozen cucumbers in there coming around. Brussels sprouts, broccoli, getting head after head. He cut the main one off, and then side shoots and more side shoots and more side shoots. You can see a bunch of the side shoots right here after the middle one's cut. And I didn't really get any berries because I didn't put any nets around them for the blackberries. I gotta figure a good way to do that for next year. The wall of glory is forming. It will continue to form. It's definitely getting there. We got lots of morning glories blooming all over the place. Way down there's more. Basically, it will bloom for better than half of the length of this garden, which is a lot of morning glories. And these are the ever-loving beans, and they're definitely coming in now. I'll be picking them in, well, probably a couple days. There's a lot of them very close. Very close. I don't know if you can see any of them in there, but bunches of them coming in. So it won't be long now. Lots of beans. Some of these squash have been coming, but they haven't been getting very big lately. I've been cooking them, picking them small. And I'm going to get tons of them. They're all over the garden, as you'll see, these yellow squash. Got a bumper crop of those this year. And we have snow peas. Also just starting, but in a week or so, yeah, we should have some of these ready. They're getting ready. Lots of them here. I don't know if you can see them easily there, but lots of snow peas. Also lots of cherry tomatoes. Haven't gotten a lot of these yet either. Got a couple. These are the round ones, but they are sweet. But I also made sure I got some sweet 100s. I'm sorry, these are the oval shaped ones, which is what I have the most of. More Brussels sprouts. All looking good except this guy. This guy looks pretty pathetic. Don't know what happened to it. We haven't had any attacks this year. My neighbor is on my side, and we're shooting at every one of these critters that get near to coming in our gardens, the woodchucks. And this is the row of medium-sized tomatoes. And then I think down here are the big beefsteaks. Maybe a couple of those. I've got at least I got 6 beefsteaks, 6 medium, and 6 more than 6. I think I have 6 of the oval-shaped cherries, and then 2 of the round sweet 100 cherries. And this is all yellow squash. And somewhere in here I have zucchini, but I haven't seen any of them forming up at all. These are one of the sweet 100s that I bought. So we'll be getting those. August is going to be a big month. July, not so much so far, but a little bit. But August is going to be a big month. So they're all coming up. And this is another one of those Sweet 100s. These are Trombucinos. Not even getting close to having any of them yet, but I hope by the end of the season I will get some. And of course, last but not least, the corn. And I think that's more Trombucinos there. I don't know how many of them I'm going to get, but I just planted a bunch of them. There's a Trombucino in, where was it? There's one somewhere in this row beside me here, and that's one of those oval-shaped cherry tomatoes there. That is, these are both there and over here. The artichokes, they're not going to look much different as time goes on. I got to dig some of them up. And over there is catmint. I will attempt to clip all of those and put them in a box and then harvest them at some point. It's work, but I think now that I got some cats to give it to. And this was a pot that I just dumped a bunch of seeds in that I had for flowers to see what would come up, and they are coming up. I don't know what I'll eventually get out of it, but I keep watering it. So I guess that's the litany list. Down in here there is, yes, you can see it, that is another Trombucino plant. Also, out of it is growing morning glories. So it's got two things growing out of this pot that are forming the wall of glory here. Oh yeah, and you can see on the other side a few of the blackberries, not black, but red. And I guess if I was to cover those guys so the birds couldn't get them, because they eat them before I've never seen any. I think I saw one that looked like it got into black. So I don't know how good tasting they would be, but anyway, they're there. And I should show you my grapes. Let me take a walk out here. And the edge of the yard is my shed. And there's Judy up on the deck. Wave, Judy.
We might get rain.
Rain would be good. God waters my garden. These are my Concord grapevine vines. I think there's two of them. They run all over these trees here, and they go up and up and up and up and up. Because I've let them. I really haven't trained them at all. But I get lots and lots of grapes. So you will see bundles of them getting ready here for around September, October. Right about when I retire, I can come out here and pick a bunch, mash them up, add water, make grape juice. There's bunches of them all. They're down underneath here. If I stoop down, you can see them there. There's lots of them. And they go way up in there. Here's some more way down here. So I'm sure I'll get lots of grapes. There's some. All green. And then there's the apple tree. It's a Granny Smith apple tree. And the apples look like hell. But last year I decided to try and experiment and see how good they were to eat. And they weren't bad. But I had to cut off. I had to, here's some. Yeah, there's a bunch here and there and everywhere on the tree. And they develop bruisey looking things like this. Am I going to get it? Yeah, there it is. These look pretty good at the moment, but they get to looking pretty gosh darn ugly. And I suppose I'm probably supposed to spray them with something, and there are probably things I could put down at the bottom of the tree that would make it more productive. I've never concentrated on it at all. This has all been free stuff that I don't do anything. I don't even water it. It's all put there by God. All I did was plant the original tree, and how big it has grown. So I knocked the apples out of it, and you know, I'd probably do the same to some other apple trees around here that people have, and they equally ignore, and they get apples, and they're ugly. And I've been thinking about the idea of going there and asking them. I think one guy did, and he said, "Oh, fine, take them." And doing the same thing I did last year. These are tart apples and hard apples, you know, how Granny Smith is. I took them, I peeled them, I cut out any bad parts, I cut them in little pieces, I cored them and cut them in little pieces, and I made apple crisp, but it was the best darned apple crisp ever, and I could have probably also stuck them in a pie and made a really good pie. Alright, that's it. Garden tour, midsummer really. You know, the very tail end of July.